Lauren.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
It's time to take a look at another interview that's in progress. In this interview, the questions will cover cloud data analytics topics related to data visualization in the cloud.
We hope this will help you know what to expect in your next interview.
What interests you in cloud data analytics? What are you looking for in your next role?
What really interests me about cloud data analytics is really diving into the raw data and telling a story. There is such a gratifying experience from really digging into the levers that happen in real life that you can then see reflected in the data, and then using that to tell a story to then really drive like an actual change to the business or to a process that you're working on. That kind of impact, basically using numbers and code, is something that's always been very interesting to me. So in a new role, I'm definitely looking for a challenging environment where feedback and iteration are abundant. I think the more learning I'm exposed to, the more excited I feel.
Imagine this scenario. A stakeholder made a request to create a dashboard to meet key performance indicators. What are the steps you would take to ensure the dashboard could be used by the stakeholder?
First, I'd really want to get familiar with the stakeholder, understand their familiarity with the data, understand their specific business needs, all while using the SMART approach, so specific, measurable, action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound, in hopes of uncovering needs and considerations that that stakeholder hadn't yet thought of in this exploratory process. The positive takeaway would be a visualization that the stakeholder could then use to drive meaningful and impactful change in their project or process.
Tell me about a time you created data visualizations. What visualizations did you create, and how did you decide what visualizations to use when representing the data?
I decided to create dashboards embedded with pie charts because I took the time to understand my audience, and I realized that they weren't very technical. And so a lot of the metrics and data I needed to present in this visualization needed to be high level enough and easily filterable so that the stakeholder or the user could be able to take all the insights that they needed to in that. And I specifically chose to use reputable and strong data sources with adequate access control so that the people viewing that dashboard could only see the data that was relevant to them. The takeaway I had was to really focus on the audience or the user, because then that would, in a sense, retroactively inform all of the visualizations I would end up making.
What are some common visualization types, and when would you use them?
Some common visualization types are pie charts, bar charts, line graphs, waterfall charts, and the context of how I would use them would really depend on the stakeholder and their needs. So if we really want to represent change over time, that might mean a line graph or a bar chart. If we want to say what pieces make up a whole, then a pie chart might serve a better purpose in that sense. But it really has to start with understanding the stakeholder.
Great. Do you have any questions for me?
A question I have is, if you had a disagreement between a junior analyst and a manager, how would you manage it?
That's a really great question. It's very important to me that everyone on our team and everyone within our working group feels comfortable and safe working together. So the first thing I would do is talk to both the junior analyst and the manager separately. I'd gather the facts. There's always two sides to every story. I'd really want to get a better understanding of what actually happened. I would encourage them to speak with each other privately, but of course offer my support if they would like me there. Everyone has different working styles. Everyone has different ways of doing things. And my hope is that through discussion and through open conversation, we could get to the right resolution. In this scenario, Andrew demonstrated how to end responses with positive takeaways. You too can talk about challenges that you faced and end with the positive takeaways that you had.